Are you thinking of making a move to the Delaware beaches and you've been wondering, should I maybe be considering a 55 plus neighborhood? Well, if you've been thinking about that, you're in the right place. Today we're talking about 55 plus neighborhoods in Delaware. So I get this question pretty often, actually. There's people who are retiring or relocating, and they're in that age bracket where they're 55 plus. They've been told that they should consider a 55 plus neighborhood. And I'm not really sure why they think that, why this rumor really got started, because there's a lot of different options. And a 55 plus neighborhood is not necessarily the best fit for everyone. And so we're going to talk today about why there might be some other options for a 55 plus neighborhood, and maybe should you consider other neighborhoods. So the first thing I want you to think about, and then we're going to loop back to it at the very end, is are you looking for a 55 plus neighborhood because you want to be only with people who are 55 plus, as in you do not want to be around kids, you do not want to be around any younger neighbors, you just want to be around people who are likely your age, then that is definitely, yes, be in the 55 plus neighborhoods. But we're going to get back to that as we think about other reasons you might want to be in a 55 plus neighborhood. And so one reason that I see the most people want to be like Beebe, Aaron Beebe, get it? One reason you might want to be in a restricted neighborhood is because you might want to meet new people. And this might be the easiest way to meet new people. And that's correct. It is a very easy way to meet new people in a 55 plus neighborhood because there's lots of different activities, there's community centers, and that's where you might go to meet people. But here's the thing. You will likely be able to meet a lot of people in a community center in any neighborhood. Many of our 55 plus neighborhoods are very nice and have a lot of wonderful amenities, and they do have the great community centers. But you might like a neighborhood that's in a different location, and really isn't real estate all about the location. And so you want to think about, do I want to be in a different location? Do I really absolutely need this neighborhood? Because many communities, many communities, most of them nowadays, have a community center, a place where people meet, a place where people, they might have their HOA meetings, they might have a women's group and men's group, all those kind of things. And they likely have a pool. So if you look for a community that has a community pool and a community center, it's a wonderful way to meet people. And you might just be very happy with that. Because question number 2, do you need all the amenities that are talked about in a 55 plus neighborhood? 55 plus neighborhoods are known for their wonderful amenities. They are known for lots and lots and lots of amenities. But do you necessarily need all of them? Do you need a bocce court, a tennis court, a pickleball court, golf course? Now I'm just trying to come up with things and think of all the ones there could be. A volleyball court, a basketball court, a beach, a kayak launch. If you just want a couple of those, then there's many more neighborhoods that you can be open to. And even ones that do have all those amenities aren't necessarily 55 plus communities. So the peninsula, for example, is in Long Neck, Millsboro, Long Neck, with the same thing, so that is not a 55 plus neighborhood. But if you drove through it, you would think it was, because there's lots of amenities. There's 2 beautiful clubhouses, and there's lots and lots of people who are 55 plus, but it's not a 55 plus community. And so there's lots and lots of places just like this, not a 55 plus, tons of amenities. Right next to the peninsula is Peninsula Lakes. I know the names are confusing. Also, world-class amenities, beautiful. They have a beautiful wave pool thing that looks like it's taken right out of the Bahamas. And this is not a 55 plus community at all. There's lots and lots of different age group people who live there, but there's tons of amenities, and there's a wonderful clubhouse, and there's lots of wonderful people to meet. They have like a men's group and a women's group and all sorts of fun things. And so do you necessarily need a 55 plus community if that's just what you're after? We can pick and choose. Not some communities have a clubhouse. Some communities will have a kayak launch and the clubhouse. They'll have pickleball. So I recommend thinking about what you really need as far as amenities. If you want golf, okay, then we can look at golf neighborhoods, because likely you want to be in a golf neighborhood. And that's a different reason why. So the next thing I want you to think about is, are you thinking you wanted a 55 plus neighborhood because you want lawn care? Okay. Taking care of a lawn is not my favorite thing. I love gardening. I love being outside. I do not like cutting a lawn. And many people think I want a 55 plus neighborhood because I want to be, I want to be spending my time not cutting the lawn. I want something easier. I want something that's low maintenance. I want to be able to take care of myself and not be taking care of a lawn. I want to be able to have fun. I want to be able to travel. We call it that lock and go lifestyle, where people want to just lock it and leave. They don't want to have to worry about taking care of a lawn or taking care of a house. And that is a different thing to think about, because not all communities do have lawn care, and not all communities so 55 plus communities, many of them actually don't have lawn care. So if you're just looking for lawn care, then there's many more communities that all of a sudden can be something that you can be interested in. But I will also say my house where I live is about 3/4 of an acre, and we pay $60 a cut for lawn care. It's not that much. And if I was in a similar neighborhood with the lawn care, you most likely have a lot more amenities, and it's more expensive to take care of. And my HOA is probably going to be anywhere from $200 to $400 a month. And so all of a sudden that price goes right up, right? But you could still have someone cut your lawn, which I imagine would range from 35 to that 65 number for, like, say, a 1/4 acre up to 3/4 of an acre. So there's a lot more opportunities and a lot more options for you. If you are looking for lawn care, you could go to a non-55 plus community, and you can also go to a community that doesn't have lawn care, but you have somebody cut your lawn for you. So that's another way to think of it as well. A lot of communities that do have lawn care can be very restrictive with how much they allow people to do. Many communities actually don't allow people to plant their own plants. So like me, I love gardening. I like to think I love gardening. I'm not great at keeping a lot of things alive plant-wise, but if you do want to do your own gardening, many communities actually will not allow you to do your own gardening. So, and again, that's something to think about. What's the right community for you in that way? So the last thing I want you to think about now is that we're putting all these all together is, why do you really want a 55 plus neighborhood? And going back to the beginning, is it because you want the age restriction? You want a neighborhood where everyone who is going to be 55 plus. You perhaps do not want kids in the neighborhood, or a lot of kids in the neighborhood. They allow some kids to stay here and there. And so that's really a different reasoning for having a 55 plus neighborhood. In that case, we've got lots of wonderful neighborhoods I'd be happy to introduce you to. But if all the other reasons, say you like the amenities, say you want a community center, say you want lawn care and have things taken care of, or perhaps your reason is because you want to meet people and you want to meet new friends who are likely to be of your age. Many of our neighborhoods are likely to be people who are 55 plus. And that's because of the demographics of our area. We do have a lot of retirees in our area. And so many neighborhoods will be 55 plus, just the way it is. And so, for example, my neighborhood, we have 40 So houses, we don't have any amenities. We actually don't have a community center at all, but we do have a group who puts together a block. We have a block party coming up next week. They call it Libations on the Lane. Each house will host like either appetizers or a dinner or different things. And we don't really have anything else. We are located on a freshwater pond, so we do have that location, and we can go in the pond and use the pond for our activities. But it's not a 55 plus neighborhood. And of those 40 houses or so, 2 houses who are under the age of 60. And one's kind of iffy because in my case, or 2 are kind of iffy because in my case, I'm inheriting my parents' house. And in another case, she inherited her parents' house. So a little iffy on the demographics there and the statistics because their parents are of that age. But otherwise, everyone else is in that 60 plus range. And there's now going to be 2 houses that are going to be for sale on my block. And probably they will be purchased by someone who are 50s, 60s plus. And that's just the demographics of our area. So most likely you can move anywhere and make friends who are your age. And I highly recommend just coming to the area and seeing what you like and seeing what kind of community fits you, because not everything is for everyone. I might not necessarily like a really restricted neighborhood, but I like the idea of meeting people and making new friends and having a community center. I love the idea of a pool that somebody else takes care of. That's my favorite kind of pool. But if you would like more information, I'm happy to talk with you. You can always request a consultation, and either me or someone from my team would reach out to you, and we would talk to you about what your needs are. And if you're thinking about making a move to Delaware, to the Delaware beaches, to coastal Delaware, to maybe one of the wonderful country towns, we are happy to be your realtor, get it? And we'd love to answer any questions you have and help you make the move. I hope you have a wonderful day at the beach.